War of Kings, which is the most detailed source of the Dynasty War. He is also known for his list and favorable opinions of people he met during his life, and today we will go over his life and all the crazy and interesting things that happened to him. Titina was born in the Kunatu Tubevelk around the year 975 BID within the city of Hincnalira, now known as Kevrakan. He was born to a wealthy merchant family, and due to his wealth, Titina was able to get an education under a private tutor, and over time he gained a passion for history and writing which carried on into his adult life. In the year 956, Titina moved to the city of Davinci, where he became a scribe for the ruler's court. It is unknown how he got this position, but it could have been because he was recommended by his tutor or someone he knew had connections. According to Titina's own writings, he enjoyed his first few years as a scribe in the court, but over time he grew more and more frustrated with everybody and their indecision and infighting at court, to the point of hating them, and in his own writings showing more of his frustrations. It was also around this time, in 955, he started to write the War of Kings, which may have been done as a way to calm himself and distract him from everything he hated. But from the paragraphs of the War of Kings, it is obvious that his frustration split into his work, with many people in it being either slandered, insulted, or both over the smallest mistakes they made and projecting the hatred he held. Eventually, in 945, after completing the War of Kings, he left Davinci and moved back to Hincnalira, where he wrote more and his hatred for authority grew. For the next 10 years of his life, he wrote much more about history, with the same attitude he had when writing the War of Kings, with him writing about the conquests of the Yanyan dynasty and the Kunatu Tubevelk, as well as the Inun Wars, with him having a surprisingly favorable opinion of Binanka. Eventually, around 944, he couldn't keep his frustrations with authority to himself and started publicly voicing his opinions to crowds in Hincnalira, which resulted in him gaining quite the following of like-minded people. But all this attention gained him the ire of the king and queen of the city, and they did not like what was currently going on, and they thought at some point there might be a full-scale revolt in Hincnalira if nothing was done. So in 935, Titina was detained and was given a short trial, and was sent to death the following morning. There has been many accounts of Titina's last words, with one being, "With my death I will only be proven right," and another saying, "Cowardice is common in all those who choose to rule." And we may never know what he actually said, but whatever he said, it inspired his followers to start the 10-day-long Titina riot, which fulfilled the fears of the king and queen. The riots ravaged the city, destroying or burning everything in their path, and were almost able to break into the palace. But after a day-long massacre of anyone who was not in their homes, the riot was quelled. One thing to note about the riot is that some of Titina's followers were able to take most of Titina's notes and were able to preserve them, which is why so many of them survive today. I hope you enjoyed this short dive into the life of Titana, and if you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. And of course, thanks for watching.